Greetings to all peoples and kingdoms of Ada, and welcome to Shieldmaidens of Ada. A little over a year ago, I put out my first 15 best quotes video from the Fellowship of the Ring. Several months later, I did the Two Towers. Now, in honor of the 20th anniversary of Peter Jackson's Return of the King, I give the 15 best quotes from the Return of the King. The thought of Tolkien's books does not disappoint when it comes to memorable sayings, words of wisdom, and time-tested truth, and I was hard-pressed to only choose 15. So sit back and let this shield maiden be your guide into the wonderful world of Middle-earth. The image that Aragorn paints for the Lady Eowyn here is grim, yet his words are true and strangely comforting. Deeds of valor and bravery and inner strength need not be performed only on a battlefield or in the sight of the watching world. There is a chance for each of us to fight our own battles and help the world in our own ways, even if our efforts are unthanked and unseen. But they are not unworthy. Aragorn's words assure us of that. Eowyn's words present one of the most powerful and chilling testimonies of despair and desperation ever heard. Her yearning can be found deep within many of us, a desire to do good, to prove oneself, to lift the world a little from his own state of despair. But in the end, Faramir's love teaches her that the powerlessness she fears cannot hurt her, for she is a free-born daughter of the wild plains, and the love that she has shown, the dignity she holds, and the labor she has performed were not for nothing. And in the end, Eowyn is allowed her chance, not only on the battlefield, but in the arms and heart of Faramir. Battle cries are only to be expected on the field of war. Theoden's goes beyond a mere cry into a stirring, poetic image of glory, of horrible reality, of courage and desperation. And to hear Howard Shore's music and see the hundreds of horses and men sweeping down upon the plain, and to hear Eowyn's cry as she clutches Merry to herself, only makes this more epic than it already is. It is perhaps Eowyn's best known and loved quote, and for no small reason. The strength and courage she displays standing before not just one of the Nazgûl, but the Lord of the Nazgûl, the Witch King, is admirable and chilling all at once. The loyalty and love she holds for her uncle, indeed all her people, is strikingly clear in her words and challenge. The rush of battle is still upon her, a desperation to win for herself glory and worth, and to save her uncle from certain death, all serve to bring to Eowyn's beating heart the bravery needed to perform one of the most daring deeds in the War of the Ring. Gandalf's words are much more than a rebuke against the despair of Gondor's Stewart. In one sentence, Tolkien manages to convey to his readers the intense severity such a dire choice as the willful taking of one's own life entails. There was also an echoing of remembrance towards the proud and conceited kings of Numenor. They, too, refused to allow the gift of men to be given. They, too, sought to rule the very existence of their lives. And they, too, ended their reign in disgrace and shame. In a world where war and battles and death has become expected and indeed necessary, it is a refreshing breath for us to see that the strong, grim Aragorn has mastered the gentle arts too. Indeed, as this prophecy seems to proclaim, it is the duty of all kings to extend their hands to the saving of lives as well as to the sword. Aragorn certainly is well suited to this world. Trained under a master healer, the Lord Elrond himself, he is prepared to offer comfort and healing to the mind, body, and spirit of those who have striven against darkness on the field of battle. There is nothing we can say or point to that illustrates Samwise Gamgee's loving loyalty more than this simple passage. The two hobbits are on the last stretch of their desperate journey. Frodo has been weakened by the overwhelming power of the ring. They are alone, two simple hobbits, amid a land of darkness and ash and death. There seems no hope left. But there is always hope where Samwise Gamgee is. In an act of determination and courage that seems to outdo even the old Bulwer Took, Sam carries his beloved master and friend up the fiery slopes of Mount Doom. And yet, despite Sam's heroic journey and sacrifice, the unexpected always arrives to spoil the moment of victory. There are no words that can describe the utter heartbreak and horror that Frodo's statement brings upon Sam and readers alike. After all those miles, after all those pages, this. Tolkien could have chosen no better words to end one of his most enigmatic and deeply psychological characters with. As he lived, so he died, screaming for his precious. We might say that Gollum lived happily ever after, for he got what he wanted, did he not?
I'm glad to be with you, Samwise Gamgee. Here at the end of all things.
Perhaps one of the simplest quotes from all of Tolkien's books, and perhaps one of the best. Amid the flames and ash of Mordor, exhausted after having completed the task that no one else could have possibly done, Frodo expresses his profound gratitude and friendship towards the one person on earth who knows all his fears, all his heartaches, and all his triumph. The faithful friend who would not only gladly carry him up the side of Mount Doom, but also die there for him as well. Even casual readers of Tolkien will have no problem identifying the speaker of this quote. Who else but Sam could sound so recklessly cheerful, so full of life and joy? Who else but Sam could describe the triumphant exultation they were all feeling at the defeat of Sauron in such words of simple, childlike joy? None but Sam, of course. Galadriel's voice may have sounded mystically haunting, saying these words in Peter Jackson's films, but it was really Treebeard's wisdom to which we must attribute this quote. For a living being of few words, the world must indeed be changing drastically, if the wise old tree found it necessary to speak so much on it. No list of quotes from The Lord of the Rings would be complete without one from Sam's wise and often quite sarcastic gaffer. All's well that ends better is the gaffer's bluntly wise comment at the ending of the war and the beginnings of the new peace. There were terrible losses, of course, and the dead will never be forgotten. But perhaps the gaffer's words of wisdom and truth helped the folk of the Shire to move towards peace and a remnant of the simple lives they had lost. Frodo's farewell words to Sam are as true as they are touching. Sam was always meant to be a whole hobbit. There was too much love and joy and life in him to ever be otherwise. He was meant for the Shire. He was meant for the reckless joy and the simple life of the Shire and his people. Frodo was meant for great things and a quiet, healing peace to be found afterward. Gandalf's final words in the text of The Lord of the Rings could not be more fitting. In an age when it can be difficult to allow our true selves to show in the presence of even our closest friends, Gandalf's gentle admonition might be what we need. Tears are no evil. They show love, sorrow, and deep friendship. They should be present in our lives, to welcome in joyful times and mourn our sorrows. As Gandalf departs for the lands of Valinor, the lands of healing, he wisely leaves some of his own healing behind. Trying to choose just 15 of Tolkien's quotes was a task equivalent to climbing Mount Doom itself. I'm sure I missed some, so let me know in the comments below what your favorite quote is and why. In days when darkness and weariness seem to be the pervading force, may we never forget the wise words of our beloved Professor Tolkien, and hope to pass those words on to others. A quote from Sam, one of Gandalf's gems, or perhaps these words from the author himself. The shadow was only a small and passing thing. There was light and high beauty forever beyond its reach. Thank you for joining with me today through the Word of Honor. Please like this video, subscribe to Shield Maidens, and join us again so we can explore more of Middle-earth together. Namaste.